Today is December 17th, 2021. My name is Charles Suter. Today I'm presenting part 6 of my series, The Rational Mind, A Guide to Rational Living. This is part B. Part A presented 6 rational rules. Part B is presenting another 6 rational rules. My main message: rationality depends on following the rational rules, so therefore rational rules must be pretty important to rationality, you might expect. Every philosophy has its theoretical concepts and rules to guide its followers, and the philosophy of rationality has its rules as well. Besides the 3 most important rational rules / beliefs, and I'm going to list them for you: I am good enough, other people are good enough, and life is good enough. Well, there are 18 rational rules in all that will serve as guidelines for attaining greater rationality. To become more rational, don't violate these rules, except for good reasons. And of course, there's always exceptions. Any violation of a rational rule portends a less than outcome. If you want more details on the rational rules, refer to my earlier series of YouTube presentations titled The Rational Rules. Rational Rule 1. Give others what you want to receive if you want to become more social and more popular. If you want to win friends and influence people, the key is to give away positive reinforcements and psychic rewards that people most want to receive. That includes attention, appreciation, respect, validation, and courtesy, just to name a few, and to do so without any expectation of reciprocity. People like people who like them. It's as simple as that. Rule number 2. Actively manage your beliefs and weed out those beliefs that are irrational. Continually be on the lookout for your own irrational beliefs when they surface, and they will usually surface and be very evident during periods of adversity and emotional distress. During periods of negative thinking, you have an ideal time to capture your irrational beliefs that are causing your emotional distress. Write these down. Write down the negative self-destructive thoughts so you can rationally deal with them later. Remember the rule: rationality in, irrational rules out. Rational rule number 3. Strive to become and act as your best self at all times. Everyone has a best self that they can display to the world if and when they choose to do so. The more often you consciously choose to act as your best self, the more often you will habitually act as your best self. And as you probably would expect, the more often you act as your best self, the more likely you are to get best results. The more you develop your rational mind, the closer you will approach your ideal and highest and best potential. Rational rule number 4. Anticipate the logical consequences of your actions before you act on them. Before you make a major life choice or act under emotional distress, consider the likely adverse or potential unintended consequences. Always consider the downside as well as the upside. If in doubt, give yourself more time to reconsider impulsive actions. Rational Rule 5. Make choices based on expected costs as well as expected gains. For every decision you make, there will always be some cost that includes psychological and physical and/or risk involved. Be sure to consider the costs and risks that you may have to pay to get what you want. If you set a goal and you continue to procrastinate, it's very likely that there are psychological costs somewhere embedded in your subconscious mind that are higher than your willingness to pay. Rational rule number 6. Prepare, prepare, prepare. If you want to build your self-confidence in any endeavor. Self-confidence does not come easy to people who have not developed the experience and skill level to perform at the level they may desire. So if you want to improve your self-confidence in any area, then you must remember the rational rules. Here's the first one. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Another one, if you want something, you must pay a price for it. In other words, if you want X, then you must do Y. Preparedness is the Y that you must apply if you want the X, or self-confidence. So in other words, if you want self-confidence, then improve your preparedness. My final message: remain mindful of the rational rules and apply them often to avoid irrationality. By having a set of rational rules to guide you towards developing your rational mind, you can apply them to your life immediately and daily. All it takes to become more rational is remember to become more consciously aware and apply the rational rules. The more often you apply these and other rational rules, the more success and happiness you will gain. With fewer irrational beliefs, you will cause yourself fewer problems and recover from adversity and its accompanying emotional distress faster. Well, that's all for now. Remember to stay positive, you'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.